Web, and today in Student vs. Wild, we'll be showcasing Toby on his miraculous journey through the Sahara to the Savanna. So, in our film, we'll be starting off in Africa. Toby will be dropped off in the very dry, hot scene of the Sahara. Then he will be traveling down south to the areas of the Savanna, which is very close to the Nile River, where there will be vegetation and good climate, where he might have a chance of surviving. During the time that Toby will be landing, he'll be right in the summer of the Sahara, with temperatures averaging about 40 degrees Celsius. When he is dropped in the Savanna, he will be in a tropical, wet climate. However, it will be hot as well and a little bit drier, but however, better than the Sahara. Alright, so before I jump, let me show you the contents of my bag. I will only be bringing a water bottle, an extra shirt for just in case, and a pocket knife. Now, this will be one of my biggest adventures yet. I will attempt to jump out of this helicopter right now. The wind is so loud! It's so hot. The sand is so hot because the sand can easily retain heat and absorb the heat for a very long time, thus making it so difficult to touch. There are only sands. We're surrounded by all sands. No animals, no water, no life. These sand dunes are created by wind carving up the sand into the hill-like shape that it is. This is called erosion, and it happens in the desert. Most importantly, we need to find a water source, or else we will surely die from dehydration. As you can see, I'm sweating away more water than I am intaking, which is extremely dangerous. And I cannot be wasting my only source of water, which is my water bottle. If I don't take in a lot of water, I can suffer from heat stroke, which can literally boil my brain so much that it shuts down. And I have a way to slow it down. Desert people usually wrap their heads around with cloth called turbans. Now I will attempt to make my own turban and take it one step further to cool my head. I will attempt to create the ultimate turban. Now, first step is to take out any extra clothing you have that you will not need. For instance, my extra shirt. Now, as you can see, this could easily become a turban if we just ripped it. But in order for it to be ultimate, we need to make it wet. As I cannot waste only source of water, I will urinate on it. I have just urinated on my shirt, and even though it's away from my comfort zone, it saved me a lot of trouble, and it's going to slow down the process of heat stroke and dehydration. Now what I have to do is find a source of food. Now you must find some treetops, because that's a sign that there's water there, and there might be a chance of an oasis. Oh look, there it is, treetop. Now you have to go in that direction. Now it's best to run. Isn't this amazing? There's water in the desert, even through all this heat. Did you know that the Sahara wasn't always a desert? As you know, water is one of the most important resources because it keeps you alive. But did you know that currently oil is another one of the most important resources found in the desert? Now,
Around 1300 AD, salt was more valuable than gold, and traders would trade them for pound with gold. Oh, I'm hungry. Now, scorpions tend to live under rocks, hiding from the heat of the day and only coming out at night to hunt for food. So be careful. Now, scorpions are good carbohydrates and they're good energy. Now, I'm going to try and find one and I'm going to try and eat it. But if you want to eat it, you have to make sure to get rid of the poison sac, which means cutting its tail and its head off.
No, I think I cut off too little of the tail, and I think the poison is still in. We're still in the body.
Right now, Toby is now fainted and now unconscious. We will now evacuate him to a hospital and replace him with Andrew, another desert survivor.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and I'll take Toby's trip and make it my own. Right now, I will travel from the southwest of Egypt to the east to meet up with the river and the areas of the Savannah. So, let's get going. Headache! I think the sun's getting to me. At the first sign of dizziness, stop and find a place to rest with a lot of shade. And the best place to find is very close. You have to look around and find treetops. And there it is. And the reason it exists here is because a long time ago there used to be water. And right now, as you can see, there is no water, except the tree's roots are very deep. And therefore it gets water from the water table, deep under the ground. So let's run there.
So right now, I'm digging in the dirt to find cooler sand rather than having to rest on this scorching hot sand right next to it. It's like, woo! And if you just dig a little bit, it's a lot cooler than it was on top. Okay. But I have to keep going because I'm losing more energy than I am gaining.
Earlier that the Sahara was once never a desert, but you're probably wondering why is it now? It is very past 4,000 years ago. Series of drought and desertification.
As you can see, there is grass and vegetation here. That means that we are closer to the Savanna and closer to the ozone dam. Now I must try to get there.
Okay, now we are in the Savannah after running for days. Look at this grass. It is wonderful. However, it's not exactly perfect because of all the dryness and lack of water. And it is all yellow, long, except for some green spots here and there. One thing in the Savannah is that you have to be very careful of snakes, like this one right here. However, it is very good to eat. So I'll try and kill it. I think it's dead now.
Oh no!
Oh, he bit me.
As you can see, another of our desert survivors has fainted and now unconscious from the sea. We will now evacuate him and replace him with me to continue the journey. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, the snake is still alive. Let me kill it.
Hi, as you have known, our other desert survivors, both Toby and Andrew, have failed in his quest. And now, is it up to me to travel through the Savannah and carry on what both of them have started? Right now, as you can see, across, there are some hills, some trees, and grasses. This is a very common setting for the savanna areas, with blonde grass, as Andrew have mentioned. However, there are also trees. The sun is still soaring hot. Very, very hot. So, what we have to do is to travel faster and more efficiently to the Aswan Dam or the areas of the Nile. We have to travel at night. This is an adaptation we have to make to this environment. Since if we continue to go on land, we'll start to lose more water than ever. And as you can see, it doesn't look like there is going to be water sometime. So, we're going to wait until nightfall to travel. When you are traveling in a desert at night, be careful because it's pitch dark without the moon. However, if there is a moon, you're very lucky. If you're not, you have to beware of the snakes that might be laying on the ground. Very careful. Very, very careful. However, if you are traveling at day and you have no other choice to, be careful of the big animals. The elephants, the lions, and other animals. You have got to hide below the grasses to avoid them seeing you. Be very careful as you move. Keep your heads down. Right now, as I walk through the savanna areas, I'm feeling that the air is very humid and hot at the same time. I think it is because that we are in the summer seasons of the savanna, where the temperatures are actually very high. However, still better than the Sahara. As you can see far, far away, there are a few clouds. But don't hope for water yet, as we still got to keep moving. If you look around, you might see some few mountains. Long, long ago, these mountains were always mined by the people. They contained copper, gold, and sometimes, even on the desert grounds, there are trees which they use for timber. To teach you a method that you should only use when there is absolutely no other choice. It is when you cannot find any other water except from elephant dung. Here's what you do. You get the elephant dung, get some clothing, wrap around it. Make a little ball, hold it up high, and squeeze and suck on it. It's very crude. However, it will help me survive for several hours. However, sometimes you're not very that lucky. What then you're going to do is drop the dung, put on back your turban, and actually your turban's actually wet, giving you more cooling to the head. Put back turban back on. Keep on walking. I did it, ladies and gentlemen. I rate civilization. I'm saved.